In the silence before battle, a wise man studies himself. He learns too late that the fiercest enemy is often impatience, and that victory begins not with force, but with disciplined foresight and deliberate restraint. Strategy is serenity in motion. When others rush with restless ambition, the thoughtful man waits, knowing that timing transforms small effort into overwhelming advantage without unnecessary conflict. He who conquers without understanding will soon be conquered by consequence. True triumph arises from preparation so complete that struggle becomes subtle, and success seems almost effortless. In youth, men seek to overpower. In wisdom, they seek to outmaneuver. Strength may win a moment, but insight secures a lifetime of influence and stability. Emotion clouds calculation. Anger may ignite action, yet calm clarity directs it. Teaching their composure in chaos is the commander of lasting success. A wise man chooses his battles carefully. Not every insult deserves engagement. For energy preserved is power accumulated for a more meaningful confrontation. Discipline in small matters prepares the mind for great decisions. Daily order becomes the hidden training ground where character sharpens like a silent blade. To know others is useful, but to know oneself is decisive. Awareness of one's weakness prevents defeat more surely than knowledge of an opponent's strength. Opportunity rarely announces itself loudly. It whispers through subtle shifts, and only the attentive mind can recognize the precise moment to advance. In the end, the greatest victory is not over rivals, but over recklessness. The man who governs his impulses commands his destiny with quiet authority and enduring honor. Victory is first conceived in quiet contemplation. A man who plans with patience shapes outcomes before they unfold. Discovering too late that preparation is the invisible battlefield where triumph is truly decided. The impulsive man charges toward glory, yet the strategic man advances with subtlety. He understands that restraint preserves strength, and that unnecessary conflict drains the very power required for decisive moments. Chaos unsettles the untrained mind, but steadies the seasoned one. When discipline governs thought, confusion becomes camouflage, and disorder becomes opportunity for the observant and composed. A leader who relies solely on force commands fear, not loyalty. Influence rooted in fairness and foresight builds alliances that endure beyond the noise of temporary dominance. To appear weak when strong and calm when challenged is not deception, but discipline. The wise man conceals intensity beneath tranquility, revealing strength only when it serves purpose. Many men reveal their intentions too quickly, scattering advantage like seeds on stone. Patience guards strategy, allowing plans to mature before exposure invites resistance. True power lies in adaptability. Rigid minds fracture under pressure, while flexible thinking bends, adjusts, and quietly regains balance amid shifting circumstances. Before confronting an adversary, confront your own flaws. Unchecked pride blinds judgment, and a single unexamined weakness can undo years of careful preparation. The wise strategist values harmony over hostility. When conflict can be resolved without destruction, preserving relationships becomes a victory more profound than conquest. In the twilight of reflection, a man realizes that the greatest campaigns were fought within. Mastering fear, temper, and temptation secured more lasting peace than any outward triumph ever could. Silence before action is the strategist's sanctuary. In stillness, motives mature and mistakes reveal themselves, teaching that haste is often the hidden ally of defeat. A man who displays all his strength invites challenge. Quiet capability unsettles opponents more deeply, for uncertainty weakens resolve faster than open intimidation ever could. Terrain is not only land, but circumstance. The wise learn to read rooms, moods, and moments, understanding that environment shapes outcome as surely as intention shapes effort. When pride demands immediate response, wisdom counsels delay. A single measured pause can redirect destiny more effectively than 100 reckless reactions. Preparation is compassion toward your future self. The disciplined man labors in obscurity so that when opportunity appears, readiness greets it without panic. Conflict avoided through insight is greater than conflict won through force. The highest mastery turns potential war into peaceful resolution without surrendering strength. Energy is finite and must be guarded. To engage in every provocation is to exhaust the spirit before meaningful battles even begin. Uncertainty unnerves the impatient, yet empowers the perceptive. Within ambiguity lies advantage for those who observe longer than others endure. The wise leader shares credit and shoulders blame by nurturing loyalty rather than fear. He forges unity that withstands pressure and protects purpose. In the end, strategy is self-governance extended outward. The man who orders his thoughts, tempers his desires, and aligns action with principle conquers not only circumstances, but himself. Patience is the unseen weapon. It cuts without clamor and conquers without chaos, teaching that the man who endures longer than his opponent often wins without ever striking. A reckless advance reveals desperation. A deliberate delay suggests depth, and depth unsettles rivals more profoundly than any display of sudden strength. To understand timing is to understand power. Action taken too early wastes energy. Too late loses leverage. But precisely placed effort reshapes the entire field. The wise man studies patterns in people as carefully as patterns in war. Character foretells conduct, and foresight prevents unnecessary surprise. Fear spreads quickly through unsteady hearts. Therefore, a composed presence becomes protection. For calm confidence restores order without raising a voice. Every alliance requires attention. Neglected trust weakens silently. And unity once fractured demands greater effort to restore than to maintain. Success tempts arrogance, yet arrogance invites oversight. The vigilant man remains humble in victory, guarding against the complacency that so often follows triumph. Adaptability is disciplined awareness in motion when circumstances shift. The rigid resist reality, but the wise adjust their stance without abandoning their principles. Information is influence. To listen carefully is to gather advantage. For those who speak less often perceive more. In the quiet reflection of later years, a man understands that the greatest strategies were not schemes against others, but safeguards against his own impulsive nature. Strategy begins where impulse ends. The man who measures twice in mind moves once in matter, conserving strength and cultivating certainty before the first visible step is ever taken. A battlefield is often won by the one who understands retreat. Withdrawal is not weakness, but wisdom repositioning itself for a more purposeful advance. He who reacts to every rumor surrenders his rhythm. Steadiness in uncertainty allows a man to act from design rather than from distraction. The disciplined mind sees beyond the present clash. It weighs consequence against desire, choosing long-term peace over short-lived pride. Appear ordinary, think extraordinarily. When expectations sleep, opportunity awakens, granting advantage to the quietly prepared. Confusion among rivals often springs from clarity within, when your purpose is precise. Opposing forces fracture against their own disorder. Guard your resources as you guard your resolve. Squandered strength today steals authority from tomorrow. A true commander masters morale. Courage is contagious when carried calmly, and fear fades in the presence of unwavering conviction. The wise anticipate resistance and refine resilience. Obstacles are not interruptions, but instruments sharpening endurance and expanding perspective. In later reflection, a man perceives that the sharpest strategy was self-restraint. By denying impulse dominion, he preserved power for moments that truly mattered. True strength is subtle. It does not shout across the field, but settles into silence, allowing rivals to reveal their restlessness while it remains rooted in composed awareness. A man who prepares for difficulty seldom fears it. Expectation of challenge sharpens attention, and attention transforms uncertainty into calculated opportunity. Momentum is mastered through moderation. To rush blindly is to stumble. Yet to move with measured persistence is to build pressure that quietly reshapes resistance. The wise conceal their frustration. Visible irritation informs opponents of your limits. But tranquil focus keeps your boundaries hidden and your intentions unread. An unguarded word can undo guarded plans. Speech, like strategy, must be deliberate, for careless expression exposes carefully crafted design. Resilience grows in disciplined discomfort, by embracing hardship as instruction. A man forges endurance that no sudden storm can easily erode. Observation outweighs assumption. When a man listens longer than he speaks, he gathers the subtle signals that determine decisive action. To command effectively, one must first cultivate credibility. Authority rooted in trust travels farther than orders enforced by fear. The strategist values clarity over complexity. The simplest plan, executed steadily, surpasses elaborate schemes scattered by indecision. In the quiet accounting of later years, a man recognizes that foresight preserved more than force. By thinking before acting, he secured peace where others invited perpetual struggle. Victory favors the vigilant, while others celebrate small gains. The wise continue refining their readiness, knowing that complacency quietly invites collapse. The calm mind commands the chaotic moment. When pressure mounts, composure becomes command, and steady thought turns turbulence into tactical terrain. A man who understands limits expands them wisely. He tests his edge without shattering his structure, growing stronger without exposing unnecessary weakness. Ambition without assessment leads to avoidable loss. Desire must be disciplined by discernment, or it will charge blindly into preventable defeat. Quiet preparation creates confident execution when effort has been invested in silence. Action unfolds with a grace that appears effortless to the untrained eye. To exhaust an opponent, conserve yourself. Endurance is advantage extended over time. and patience often prevails where aggression burns out. Clear intention cuts through confusion when purpose is precise, decisions aligned swiftly, and hesitation fades before focused resolve. Guard your reactions as you guard your resources. Emotional leakage reveals strategy, while restraint preserves both mystery and momentum. A wise leader studies both success and setback. Triumph teaches confidence, but failure teaches correction, and correction sustains longevity. In the final measure, mastery is measured not by battles fought, but by disasters avoided. Foresight is the quiet guardian of lasting peace. Strategy thrives in stillness when a man resists the rush to respond. He allows the field to unfold, revealing weaknesses that haste would have hidden. The strongest position is often the least exposed. Wisdom arranges circumstances so that effort is minimized and advantage multiplies naturally. A man who masters anticipation rarely meets surprise. Foresight turns uncertainty into calculated possibility and reduces chaos to manageable motion. Noise distracts the undisciplined, but clarity anchors the aware. In the midst of confusion, the focused mind quietly gathers leverage. Control of self precedes control of situation. Without inner order, outer command becomes fragile and fleeting. The patient strategist values sustainability over spectacle. A quiet, consistent advance outlasts dramatic surges that quickly exhaust themselves. True dominance is rarely declared. It is demonstrated through preparedness so complete that resistance loses confidence. Before conflict begins, guard your intentions as you guard your provisions. Premature exposure weakens momentum and invites unnecessary opposition. Restraint in victory preserves stability. Triumph celebrated with arrogance plants seeds of future rivalry and subtle resentment. In reflection, a man discovers that wisdom was not in overpowering others, but in aligning action with awareness and timing with thoughtful resolve. Preparation without discipline is merely intention. The wise man rehearses adversity in his mind, so when it arrives in reality, he responds with readiness rather than regret. A scattered focus fractures force. When attention is divided, strength diminishes. Yet concentrated purpose pierces resistance with quiet precision. The impulsive seek quick victories. The patient pursue lasting advantage. Understanding that endurance outlives enthusiasm and steady steps surpass sudden leaps. Confidence must be cultivated, not displayed. True assurance rests in repeated practice, not in loud declarations of ability. To anticipate conflict is to diminish its impact. Foresight softens surprise and transforms shock into strategic adjustment. A wise man measures consequences before committing action. Foresight is the shield that protects ambition from unnecessary harm. Energy invested wisely compounds over time. Squandered effort today weakens tomorrow's position and narrows future choices. Calm observation reveals hidden fractures. What appears strong from afar may crumble under careful scrutiny. Control of pace determines control of outcome. When you dictate rhythm, you subtly influence direction and decision. In the end, mastery is restraint refined by reflection. The man who governs his impulses governs his destiny with deliberate and enduring strength. Silence sharpens perception, while others rush to declare intention. The thoughtful man observes patterns patiently, allowing understanding to mature before a single decisive movement is made. An open display of power invites unified resistance. Quiet capability, concealed and cultivated, unsettles opponents who cannot measure what they cannot see. Endurance outlasts excitement. The steady heart maintains direction when passionate beginnings fade, proving that consistency quietly conquers volatility. A man who studies failure without bitterness transforms loss into leverage. Reflection refines resilience and reshapes defeat into disciplined determination. The art of positioning surpasses the art of striking when placed wisely. Even modest strength multiplies its influence without unnecessary strain. Emotional restraint protects strategic clarity when temper is tamed. Judgment remains steady and action remains aligned with long-term intention. To predict reaction is to control rhythm. Understanding how others respond allows a man to guide outcomes without overt force. Preparation is invisible investment, though unseen by spectators. It silently strengthens resolve and ensures confidence under pressure. In the quiet accounting of experience, a man learns that foresight saved him more often than bravery. By thinking deeply before acting boldly, he preserved strength for moments that truly defined him.